Hi everyone, welcome back to my precious garden. This is the 28th of July and it's gonna be an end of July garden tour. I couldn't do it before because some part of my region are burning sadly, and the air quality wasn't good enough for me to be outside without a mask, and I don't even have the right kind of mask. So today is still okay, so I'm gonna record this just to keep track of how my garden is looking and to share with you the blooms. First, a little overview of the garden. I didn't keep track of the number of flushes, but look at this beauty. So this one is the poet's wife. In case you don't really know this rose, it starts with this bright yellow and it fades to a creamy yellow and goes to even kind of white, especially if it's hot. Today it's gonna be like 36 and tomorrow is gonna be like 39 or 40 Celsius. So we've had fresher days just before. That's why everything is gonna look nice for you on this video. So here we have a phlox doing just fine, as you can see, and nearby we have boscobel with a few blooms. It had a few and it has a few more coming, as you can see, even down there. On a larger view, so you have some blooms here, but you have some more just there. This one is done. The fig tree, you wouldn't believe how hard I pruned it back this winter, and it is full of figs on every stem, so I can't wait. This is the Desdemona that I have in a container. It's doing not as good as in the ground, but it's doing fine nonetheless. I'm proud to show you this one. This one is from a cutting from a pink rose. It's a very rare occurrence because it produced a yellow rose. It seems it can happen. It's a genetic thing, and I think it's quite nice. And since I've moved it in this bigger pot, it's quite happy, putting on new growth. And nearby, so I didn't name her yet, but nearby we have Mary Delaney, very cute, and this one reacts really well at the bending. So I bend the stem there, and you can see 1 shoot, 2 shoots, 3, 4, 5, and all of those are gonna produce flowers, so that's nice. Nearby we have this cosmos that is now very happily flowering. I don't know the variety, but the pollinators love it. In this area we have a very cute echinacea that flowers even though it has some spent blooms. I have Nagapanthus here that was really nice, but it's finished now. I'm thinking of finding some that are flowering for a longer period of time. We'll see. Another echinacea just there with a phlox in the background. A calendula that I found in plant fair that is quite cute. Small blooms though, maybe because of the heat. This rose is Jean de La Fontaine, and look at how many blooms are coming. But I'm not just showing you flower buds. There's a bloom there and one just about to open. We have nice snaps. I need to deadhead some. The Nicotiana, it was from a mix. And then Gladioli, I have this one standing and this one fallen down. I'm not that good at staking right now. There's another Nicotiana coming. And in this area, this is a Gaillardia. I really recommend it because, as you can see, it's a powerhouse. This is already kind of a second flush, but really it didn't stop for long. This is supposed to be an Australian plant, an annual. First time trying it. And yeah, the zinnia starting to show up. Because this one wasn't doing good, I sowed another one that's coming here. So we'll see. I don't even know if I sowed a white one or another one. As you can see, I've mulched. This is some free mulch I got in my town after an event. Behind it we have the rose Emma Bridgewater, and not much happening yet, but I've seen some new growth. And there's a flower bud up there. Same Gabriel Oak was resting after the heat we got, but now I see some new growth everywhere. I don't really see my screen, so I'm hoping that it shows. The Verbena bonariensis is doing fine, really loved by butterflies. This Lantana, I had difficulties at the end of spring, but now it's doing fine. This Echinacea is looking like it's done. No, not completely. Look, there's going to be a new one, new one, new one, and I'm leaving these as seed heads, seed pods for the birds this autumn and winter. They're going to be very happy with this one. Behind it you've got Penelope Lively, and it's funny, the new growth is looking like what it's happening on my Desdemona, but I'm going to show you just after that. So you see it's looking like this, and I have new growth down there too. So just to show you, this is the Desdemona, and they're all starting from the center and going like this. It's gonna be quite a show when it's ready. But coming back near my Penelope Lively, you have this dahlia, and there's the second stem there that needs taking. And this one is supposed to be called Lava Glow. That's my second bloom. Look how good it looks with the sun behind it. I'm still waiting on some dahlias. This one is beautiful, but I think I got this one a bit late. And this tomato has come by itself and is about to make new tomatoes if the heat isn't too harsh. And on the other side we have this allium, which is called Allium Millennium. It's the variety that comes during the summer, and in my area it only tolerates part shade. It doesn't like full sun, so it's starting to prepare flower buds. And nearby we have how's it called, Dianthus. This one is Chabot La France. It's a pale pink, very nice. This is my poor man's orchid. The rest of what was happening. Very, very cute when in bloom. And behind it, in the same color tones, you have a liatris. It's funny because I have liatris that have started early and some like this one that are still blooming, so it gives me a long period of bloom. See this one, the two stems are done, the one down there is still blooming. This rose you see in the back, the yellow one, is called Graham Thomas. It's one of my first roses in the garden, and I'm trying to leave some kind of buds, what is left after the flower, to hopefully get rose hips. I'm hoping that I've done this early enough this year, and I'm not even sure this one is able to produce rose hips, but we'll see. I can see a little insect in one of the blooms up there. They're so cute. I have a few zinnia now blooming, and I've sown so many different packs in my garden. Can't give you names unless they're very specific in terms of color, but they're starting to get in a full swing mode, so I'm happy. Let me show you. Yeah, here is the Queenie Lime. This is the Queenie Lime one. Quite cute. I think it was supposed to be Queenie Lime Blush, but this specific plant didn't want to blush, but it's good anyway. This agastache I grew from seed from an Instagram friend, and it's like, I'd say 1 meter high already. That's nice. I didn't pinch it when it was small. Maybe I should have. In case you wonder, this big beautiful mess is the Verbena Bumpton. It's like the Verbena officinalis but with darker foliage. But beware, it reseeds itself everywhere. And also, the baby seedlings, they don't all keep the dark foliage, so be aware of that too. If you want to keep the dark foliage, you need to do cuttings. Here you have a sunflower coming. I have an aubergine with one aubergine on it, so that's nice. I had to mulch around my 2 peppers here because this area is really bad, really dry, and they suffer a bit compared to other areas of the garden. Here you have the dwarf peach tree, and I have 3 peaches back there. One here, and let's see, one there. And on the left, the dwarf pear tree. Like other plants, it has this pest doing something, and I'm still not sure what kind of pest it is, but the fruits are okay. They're not really big. It's not because it's a dwarf tree, it's because of the extreme heat we got earlier. Here is Strawberry Hill, about to produce new flowers, but it's resting. On the other side, my Penelope Lively that is covered in Gora, and I'm seeing something with an insect behind. I can't really see what is happening. Is it like 2 insects mating, or is it one kind of monster that I don't know? I'm gonna turn around. Never mind, it's all they are gone. So we're back nearer to the Graham Thomas. So let's enjoy the blooms. and underneath I have a snapdragon, and then nearby is the penstemon, but this year they're not doing as good in terms of quantity of flowers, although I see lots of flower buds, so maybe it was the heat. And here is a dahlia that suffered from the heat, but as you can see, it produced a new stem, and this happens to lots of my dahlias, so if they're not looking good, still keep hope. A few blooms on this buddleia, but yeah, I'm not sure buddleias are the right plants for my garden, especially the small ones. I have a bigger one just there. Let me push the Gora. And this one is called Miss Ruby, I believe. And I planted it on a mound to be able for it to drain better. This is my crabapple called Gulliver Cross Appletini or Apple Tiny, and they started like this beautiful purple, and progressively they turn pink, and they're supposed to finish red. I'm really in love with them, and these are a variety you can eat, and they're supposed to be really good, so fingers crossed, I'll tell you. So here we have a dahlia, a white dahlia called Zara, very nice, but let me show you flowers. So here is a hibiscus. This one is called Joli Coeur. This is going to be the first bloom this year, and nearby there's one without a name, but as you can see I have two blooms at the same time, and I think that's a first. If you don't know, this kind of hibiscus, the flower stays on just for one day, and then you have other blooms. On its right, we have this baby penstemon that I made from a cutting, and it's about to bloom. Here, Princess Anne gave me another flush. It was really nice. It's not finished. I'm seeing a few buds coming up again, so that's gonna be cute. This is my Aldi rose. I hope the video quality is good because the phone told me my camera is so hot it's gonna impact it, so fingers crossed. About hibiscus, because I won a prize of gardening, well, flower garden contest, I bought this one that I put with its roots in the water. So behind the hibiscus I have a dahlia that I didn't order, but it's quite nice, so not too bad. And behind it there's my Nyphophia that I really thought wasn't doing good because I didn't see flower buds, but like a week ago it has started finally, and it seems to be really happy. I have new ones coming up, so sometimes you just have to be patient, and it's not because in some areas of the world they had started weeks before that it means that yours won't do anything. I need to show you this rose even though there's only one flower. This is Princess Charlene de Monaco. It had a long rest because this is gonna be the second flush only, but it's new in this area, so I'm gonna give it time. And look at this bloom. And then on the right you have new growth on Princess Alexandra of Kent. I had two blooms on the second one. That was my first in the garden, but I moved it this winter to this position, and I'm having lots of it's a bit a big word, but lots of new buds coming. Here is Elizabeth. This Elizabeth I got as a cutting, and so it took a few years to get to this stage. It made this big, nice, strong cane, and from this one I'm getting lots of blooms now, so really next year I think it's gonna be very nice. It's a beautiful rose. Here in my garden it's not in a full sun position. It's not like in a 12-hour sun position, and I think it likes it because it benefits from my tree. And then coming back to this side, I think this is a nice view. I have this pink petunia with this bicolor angelonia, purple and white, and behind it there's a liatris flowering at the same time. So isn't that great? On the left here is an abutilon called Aphrodite, and it has pink blooms. Sadly, because I almost lost it this winter, I think it's concentrating on putting on growth, putting on roots, so I don't have as much blooms as I had last year, but I'm really hopeful for this, and I'm gonna protect it this winter if it gets down again to -6. My amélanchier, serviceberry, as you want to call it, it didn't bloom. It's been a few years it didn't bloom. Normally it blooms in spring. My hypothesis sorry, birds up there, is that I guess this tree doesn't bloom on the main stem there. So, and it didn't have the branching ones, and now it has. So if I'm correct, next spring I should hopefully get some blooms. So fingers crossed for me. And if I pan back to the right, there's this plant. I'm not really liking the color, but it's a really easy plant, I must say. So this is a Rudbeckia, a classic one. I found it at Aldi, I believe, and doesn't need much water. The flower, they stay on. None of the flowers faded yet. So, and it's been a long time. So that's interesting. I'm really waiting for them to be able to produce lemony yellow ones, because then I would put them everywhere in my garden. I'm not fond of the orangey yellow. So this side is one of my most shaded areas of the garden, so I put another Allium millennium there, and look how healthy it looks. I'm gonna try and find you the ones that are in more sun, and you'll be able to do the comparison. And nearby here we have Geranium roseanne. I needed to water this morning because today and tomorrow are going to be very hot. So it's looking really good. Nearby, not really happy, is my Sidalcia. But I guess it's going to recover with the water I gave, and maybe this one will need a bit of water tomorrow, but we'll see. Tomatoes grown from the compost are really just happy. They won't produce because it's in the shade, but they're happy there, so yeah, leaving them. On the sunnier part of this area we have this baby tree. It's a heptacodium, and this heptacodium doesn't like, I don't know if it's the heat or if it's just the sun. I think it's the heat, because it got this from our last heat wave, whereas the other leaves are fine with the same sun conditions. So I'm really thinking it's the heat. So fingers crossed for today and tomorrow, and hopefully it will recover. And this is a Persicaria I moved, and it's not dying, so that's a win. Here there's a dahlia I'm waiting for, and I can see a few flower buds. I don't know if you can see, there cosmos seedlings. I have a few in the garden, so hopefully maybe I'll have cosmos blooms at the end of the season. So here, if you don't know my garden, there's my bigger pond, and where I showed you the hibiscus back there, it's my first and smaller pond, which are really loved by all kind of wildlife, whether it's pollinators, whether it's birds. So yeah, that's nice. Here we have another dahlia. This one was the first to bloom in my garden. It's the first year, and it's called Wizard of Oz. This flower is just at the end, but more are coming. On the other side you have the hydrangea paniculata, fraise melba. What to say? The show is mostly underwhelming, but yeah, I'm here for you, little hydrangea. On its left you have this nice pennisetum. This one is called Kali Rose. So first it produced these 3 blooms, but now I have new growth with new blooms coming, as you can see. So that's nice. Another Sidelcia from the same variety as the first one I showed you. I have 2 flowers there. Oh, a bit more. Look at these. So cute. The show was very impressive in spring. In the front you have another Angelonia, a pink one. Oh, and near the Wizard of Oz, unstaked, we have this beauty. This beauty is called Lady Kate, and I'm really liking it. I have another one in my front yard, and the flower stays very long without looking bad, so fingers crossed for that. Here is another zinnia. I have this aster that has started blooming like 1 or 2 weeks ago, so quite early for asters, but yeah, maybe the rest are gonna wait a bit more. In this pot I had cuttings of this Veronica. I thought I took out all of the cuttings, but it seems I missed this one, so this one is still growing with this beauty. Look at this dark stem with these leaves. And I have one of the other Veronica cuttings here, and the other ones are in other pots in another area. This is my most shaded area, and I wanted to show you this caladium. And I'm gonna insert here the photo I took this morning while the sun was shining through the leaf. It was beautiful. This area is more like part shade, but last year I decided to plant a tomato in this area, and it did alright. It was just planted a bit late, so this spring I've planted this one, and I'm already having like 2 tomatoes there, a bit more blooms. It might not be the most productive one in the garden, but it's doing alright. And a new stem from the base. I tried courgettes here. I think they're courgettes, but of course not enough sun and maybe not enough richness in the soil because of the tree. And behind the tomato you have the hydrangea diamantino. This one is doing fine. It just doesn't like it when the sun scorches it. Sometimes when there's the heat wave and it's scorching, but other than that it's doing fine. On the other side of it, here there's the other kind of hibiscus. This one I think is called French Cabaret Pastel. I don't have a very nice bloom to show you, but it's quite okay. And here the elderberry is still trying to fight for its life. It's not thriving, it's doing okay. And just here we have a fuchsia that is happy, I guess. Oh, and in this shady area I have my Japanese maples, and they're doing good. I even see new growth on this one. Look at this. Don't mind the rest of the area, but yeah, the Japanese maples are doing good. This one is called Butterfly, I believe. This one is Bihu. And this is another elderberry. This is Golden Tower, but it's in too much shade for it to get golden, so it's just plain green. And here is the rose called Olivia Rose Austin. It's still a baby here, and this one is looking like, yeah, it's done. But it's cute, and I have others coming. It seems to be a very healthy rose, so I'll tell you more when I know it a bit more. This is my messy pots area, and I have a tree there. This is called Albizia, and it's looking fine. There's another tree, I don't know what it is growing in there, that I will need to take out in autumn. Here I've made another wildlife bath. I change the water in this one every day because I don't want to attract mosquito larvae in there, and it's used by pollinators, that's why you see rocks, and by birds. In this pot you have a sedum that I got from bare roots from Farmer Gracie, and once it started producing long stems, I took cuttings, and these are the cuttings. So this one obviously is doing fine, and the other ones I'm keeping hope. We'll see, but at least I'll get 2 sedums from one buy. Some nice foliage with a nice bloom. And in this container, as you can see, I have some tomatoes, and I don't remember the variety, but it seems to be a kind of pinkish one, because I've tasted one and it was ready and very sweet already. So yeah, quite happy with that. I wanted to show you the cleome I saved from the ground. It was doing fine, and then it was attacked by something called Altise in French, English name here. And now it's recovering, as you can see. And I do have blooms, so nothing is lost. I believe this was my latest buy from the garden center, and I had to water it a bit more than I thought at the beginning, but now I think it has found its feet, so it's looking better, much better. It's flowering very nicely. I want to take some cuttings, but I think it's too early for that yet. It's funny how certain varieties of echinacea seem to not push new blooms when the first ones fade. So I'm not touching it. The same, I'm keeping the flower heads for the seeds for the birds. Oh, I hope you can see this butterfly. There's a blue butterfly there. 2! Back to the flowers. So here I have a dahlia. I need to check which one I've planted here. Very interesting. There's another one coming here. Not sure which one. Not sure which one it is. And on the other side, you have this verbena flowering. And nearby, if you wonder what this is, I got it from a friend. It's called shiso. It can be used in the kitchen, and I planted it mostly for the dark foliage in the garden. No, this is my latest buy. So this is from a plant nursery nearby, and I found this echinacea. It's more like a double bloom echinacea. I need to find the name again. I have it in my phone. It has lots of blooms. It seems to be known to be quite floriferous. So this is the side yard. I have this one that has started blooming and putting on new growth. Behind it there's the amaranthus. I don't know if it's the green or pink variety that I sowed here. Nearby a tomato planted late, lots of blooms. The rose Geoff Hamilton doesn't flower much apart from the first flush that is just stunning. Here there's a raspberry, but I don't know why this year even the ripe ones, they're not tasting good. Thinking about pesticides from maybe some neighbors. Here a rose called Adriana. Each hour the blooms change on this one. Tomato area, as you can see, I have some cherry tomatoes. This one is the Hawaiian pineapple one, not the most productive, but yeah, I had some seeds. I have an aubergine here, baby peony. What can I show you? Behind there's a hydrangea arborescens, but it gets too much sun, so I need to move it. Here is the beautiful rose. This one is called Mademoiselle Meillon. I bought it in a pot this spring. It had difficulties at the beginning, but look at this now. It's just incredible and so beautiful. And it's supposed to be really nicely scented, according to people with some correct sense of smell. But I'm really enjoying the look of it. A few days ago, if I can show you the photo, the blooms looked like Boscobel. It had a coral tone in it. Now it's more on the pink side, but you can see on the bud it has some coral peach tone. Here is the rose called Sabrina. It's a climber, and look at this, it has some green heart there. I'm kind of enjoying it. And another aubergine here with one there. And this is Donahue preparing its next flush, and it's gonna be incredible. There's a phylacterum behind it that you can't see anymore. Here is the rose Silasmana that is gonna, which one is it? Yeah, so this part is Silasmana and the rest is coming. And this one is coming from behind, so it's the mini Eden climber. And it's funny because it starts pink, but it finishes by fading to this white with even some green in it. It's very interesting. And here, let me show you, this is Lady of Shalott. It's a beast, but it's the beauty at the same time. Look at those blooms. So because it hasn't been that hot, I get the more orangey tone here, but it's gonna turn really pink because it's gonna get very hot, and I'm really liking when it gets on the pink side. On the left we have another zinnia, and this is the Queenie Red Lime. Here you have a rose Isabelle Autissier. I like when the blooms are very young, like this, but then they're not looking good, so just so you know. But it's healthy, producing new shoots. This is a self-seeded Verbena officinalis. Here is the big rose called Jazz Festival. I'm gonna try and show you the last bloom. So this is my last of Jazz Festival. They're really beautiful when they're in bloom. They start like this, very, very bright. But it's a really beautiful rose to have. The foliage is quite healthy. The plant is very vigorous. On its left we have this beast. This is a star jasmine, and it had a beautiful flush, and now look at all of this with blooms all around it. So I can't just let myself prune this. And anyway, I don't know if you know, but when you prune a star jasmine, there's a very irritating sap, so I need to wait for a time where I can be fully covered to not get this sap on myself. A little overview with Lady of Shalott, the zinnia, the rose Isabelle Autissier, Jazz Festival, and then we go back to some, I still have some larkspur. Look at those! And I need to show you a little lizard just there. Can you see it? Look at that! He is not afraid of me, he's hunting. And then going back to flowers, you have this salvia. This one is Amistad. Didn't like the heat, but it's putting on new blooms, so hopefully it's gonna be okay. Here is my hollyhock, but I don't see any more blooms on it. But the foliage down there is very healthy, so hopefully next year. And I have lots of seed heads. Here is the straw flower, silvery rose, I believe. There's lots of plants in this area, so the salvia amistad, the straw flower, some larkspur, the purple hyacinth bean vine starting to get out, another kind of salvia, some Ami Visnaga, not the majors, the Visnaga, a container here, lots of Verbena bonariensis, loved by pollinators behind it, an Ipomea with one bloom, let me show you. Hey, just there. And on this side here we have a dahlia. This one is called Tropican Black. And we have, let me show you, a scabiosa here. This one, a status, a peony that the foliage isn't doing well now. Here is the dahlia called Great Silence. That would benefit staking, but it's doing okay. See, they're turning back to the sky. Here, a fennel, really loved by pollinators too. Let me zoom in on the blooms. Another zinnia here. My rose Eustacia vi sadly doesn't have any bloom to share with you today. Here is my Daphne, another echinacea. This one is called Sun Magic Vintage Watermelon. So it starts really, really bright, and then you get this vintagey feel to it. And this is the container area, and the plants are doing much better now that they're mulched. I've already harvested the ripe tomatoes on there. I have this sunflower. This is a variety with only one bloom, whereas here you have a variety with lots of blooms. Sadly, these ones are with lots of aphids, but as you know, in my garden, I leave the aphids because they're the food for other kind of insects. So they'll come as long as the plant can resist. The predator will come. Here is my tree wisteria, doing great. I really need to prune it back, but it's doing good. The foliage is fine. A dahlia, not blooming. Another kind of hibiscus, not happy, as you can see. And these are the containers that I've added this winter or spring. So you have a mix. There you have tomato, sunflower, aubergine, courgette, there's some cucumber, some aubergine, tomato, dahlia, basil, sunflower, and then here you get more of blooms, nicotianum, snaps, agastache, another one from seed, the dahlia lady Kate, see, the other one I told you about, and another nicotiana, a shrub, can't remember, another shrub, and yeah. And here I'm starting to see the flowering part of this bulb. Need to find which one I put here, so that's nice. On my screen the color is not looking right. I'm hoping it's not looking like that for you, but see, this is my crepe myrtle blooming, my white one. My other plant in the backyard isn't blooming yet, but the show will be stunning too. They're so beautiful when they're just like that, and I have lots of buds. It's looking so good. And then in autumn the foliage is turning red, so it's a really nice plant to have. In this container the verbena had difficulties because I've waited too long to water, but it didn't matter for the salvia, didn't matter for the scaevola, the zinnia and the petunia. So that's really interesting. Really interesting to see which one survives the best. And then here we have one variety of cucumber, can't tell you which one, but the first cucumber it gave me, it was almost white. And then you have another one here. This is it gave me a more normal one, and it's not producing much, but see, it's small pots, so maybe next year I'm gonna put bigger pots here and maybe it will look very nice. Here is my crabapple, looking fine. And this is my only hanging basket, and as you can see I went for very drought resistant plants. Can't see my screen, and that's the only one I get because here it gets so dry. So that's gonna be the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching the garden as it is. Keep your fingers crossed for the smoke to not come back in our area and for the fires to be contained by our brave firefighters, because it's quite scary. And I hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye!